Today I'm drawing a tiger. Hi everyone, Steve Elliott here again. This is something very different for me from what I'm normally doing. I usually do sort of landscapes and portraits of photos that I've taken. But today I thought I would try something different. I drew this on a Sunday. It was cold, wet, didn't want to go out much, wanted to do some drawing, and I wanted to do something that could just take my mind off everything. So I thought I'll go to Pixabay, the free resource for where artists can go and get images to draw. There's no copyright restrictions on them, so it's a safe way of getting source material to work with. And I just typed in the word tiger. That's the first thing that came into my head, and this was one of the first images that came up. And I decided to draw this. So I will leave a link in the description below for Pixabay. If you've never heard of that and you want to find some copyright free images to use, I'll leave a link below. And the app I'm using now, if you follow me, you'll know I do a lot in Art Rage and Procreate. And very rarely do I use this app. This is I was going to say Art Studio Pro, but it's not. It's Autodesk Sketchbook. And I don't know why I don't use this more, because this is an absolutely stonking app. They're not paying me to say this. I'm not being, I'm not an affiliate to them or anything like that. This is just my own opinion. And, everybody that has an iPad should get this app because it's free. I would suggest that this is the best free app out there, and it certainly holds its own with the main apps like Procreate and Art Studio Pro. So it's a freebie. Go out and get it. The next thing I want to say is I totally began this painting or drawing. It's a pencil drawing actually, with something that I've never ever used before in any of my videos, any drawings ever, and that's the airbrush. I wanted to get this sort of soft, misty, out of focus, what would you call it? Small depth of field impression of this background where the background's out of focus and the tiger's sharp in there. So I thought the best way to do that would be to use an airbrush. And there's lots of different brushes and tools, loads and loads and loads that come with this app. And I thought I'm just going to do this in the basic tool set because I just wanted to see how far you could push the basic tool set, and B, it's got all the tools you need in it. It's got erasers, pens, brushes, all sorts of things that you can just select at the click of a button. So that's another reason I'm using that. So I'm using all the basic tools to start with, and I put in this airbrush background. I then created a new layer. I locked the airbrush layer. I didn't want to touch it again, and I just started with a very light pencil, just the basic pencil, and I sketched in the outline of the tiger, and then I started doing sort of just strokes. And I thought my idea with this would be to do no blending as such. I didn't want to I could sort of tip the pencil on its side and do some soft blending with that. But I thought I'm going to draw this so it's clearly a pencil drawing. And it's all done with hatching and cross hatching. And I know if you're doing cross hatching, you're not going to be strictly following the contours of the tiger and the shapes, because crossing hatching by definition is you'd be going in the opposite direction. But the intention was to get a lot of pencil work on this and just keep working on it and building up something that's looks a lot more than just sort of a coloured pencil drawing, at least at a distance. I mean, if you zoom in, it's obvious. If you look at it now, you can see that it's just sort of pencil strokes. But as you zoom out, it starts to look a little bit more realistic. I'm not really into photorealistic artwork. to me, what gives me a buzz is creating something that is unique and come out of my imagination, and is clearly not a photograph. It is intended to be a piece of art. So I'm not into copying much, although this is clearly just a blatant copy of a tiger. It's still obviously a drawing. And for me, and I'm not knocking anybody that does photo realistic artwork, because it takes an absolutely mental amount of skill to be able to do that. And I appreciate it, and I appreciate the work and the talent that has gone into it. But for me, I would much rather look at an impressionist piece of art that will create some sort of emotion in me than a photorealistic piece of art, which I just look at it and I generally dismiss it pretty offhand, thinking, yeah, that's very clever, but you know, there's nothing emotional about it, and that's what I find interesting about art. So that's why I don't go down the photorealistic route. And it's not that I can't; it's just that I don't want to, because it just leaves me cold, really. I mean, said that, sometimes I get this urge to do something that's going to take me a little bit longer, like this tiger drawing. I knew it was going to be a really long piece, a lot longer than what I normally spend on a drawing or painting, just because by doing the hatching and cross hatching with a pencil, anyone that's done anything like that will know it just takes forever compared to paint, where you can just put a stroke on and it's done very quick. So I was in for the long haul, and it was this drawing's really a bit of therapy, because I've got a lot of stuff going off at the minute that has got me down at times, and I wanted something just to escape from reality for not just an hour, but for a complete day, really. I just wanted to chuck myself into it. If you look at the detail now on that, you can see it's starting to build up with all the layers of pencil that I'm putting in. And it is a pencil drawing, but when you zoom out, it starts to look a lot more realistic. So I was really pleased with this. I have got a confession to make. I must say, once I'd kind of got the basic drawing, or most of the drawing done, I felt that the basic pencil was really crude and not subtle enough to get in some of the finer hatching and sort of lines that I wanted in there. And I did go into the art pencils and selected the B pencil, just because I could get a nice finer point. It just felt much more like a proper pencil. So at some point I did change and go into that. I should also say that if whatever I'm doing, I want people to know that it is a piece of art, not a photograph. I did go in here, look, I created another layer and added some more airbrush work, because I wanted the tiger to be on a darker ground, because I knew when I put the whiskers in, it needed to be dark for them to stand out. Anyway, back to what I was saying was, I always like people to know it is a piece of art or drawing or whatever, not a photograph. Not that I'm suggesting it's photo quality or anything like that, I'm not. But I like to leave bits that are just so obvious that it's a painting. So you probably guess that the way I'm working this, I am not going to finish this tiger as a complete drawing and take it right the way down and put all the detail in all the back. At some point, I'm going to finish and leave some of it completely unfinished. And that's not because I got bored of it. That was my plan right at the offset. That was what I intended to do, because I wanted to have this sort of quite detailed tiger that just fades away to just a sketch, which is, if you've seen the video I've done on the bearded dragon, the pastel drawing I did, that was the same thing, where I kind of worked hard on the face and got a lot of detail in, and then it got down to his body and his feet, and they would just get really loose sketches. Well, that's what I got in mind when I set out about doing this. And as you can see, there's lots of hatching and cross hatching and going off, which kind of breaks the rules about using pencils and following the fur. So, you know, if you go the wrong way, it won't look right. But this is the technique I wanted to work with. You notice that I just flicked in those whiskers, so they look so much better with that darker ground than what they would have done without that. And I wanted a definite edge between the black stripes and the orange. I wanted those to sort of blend together, so you could feel the fur. You almost touch it and feel that fur, run your fingers through it between the black and the orange. Not, you probably wouldn't do that though. You could risk of getting your hand bitten off, but you know, that was what I was kind of aiming at. I wanted them to sort of blend together without doing any blending. It had to be done with this hatching. And I have to say, I really did get into this drawing and enjoyed it so much. It took me a lot longer than what I normally do, and I'm really pleased with the outcome. I'm not saying that this is now going to be where I'm going with the style. I'll probably do a few more like this. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. I kind of like the idea of going on Pixabay, and what I want to put to you guys is, what do you think? Is it worth me saying to you, suggest to me what to paint? Give me some ideas, because it's always nice to have ideas, and maybe even post a link to an image on Pixabay that you'd like me to have a go at. I think that might be quite fun as well. Just sort of, I could create a new series. This is thinking off the top of my head now. I'm just thinking, oh, that'd be quite cool. Create a new series where people suggest pictures to paint out of off Pixabay. I'll leave that up to you. If you start suggesting that or think it's a good idea, put something in the comments below, because I think I will be up for that. I'd have to see the pictures first though before I totally commit myself. But I think that might make quite an interesting and fun series to do. So a bit of participation would be great. So if you want to do that, put something in the comments below, and I'll take it from there. So anyway, this is it. That is my finished tiger. I'm just going to sign it. There we go. And you can see at the bottom, it's not completely finished. I've left that as a very loose sketch. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up, as always, is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them with you. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.